Hello, this is Annette with Project Refine Life. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm here to talk about the decks that are most versatile within my collection. Now I love using tarot and oracle together because to me it deepens the understanding of the reading. It either opens up the means of communication or it helps wrap up what you need to hear at the end to give that finishing touch to what you're diving into. So for that reason, I love having decks within my collection that are versatile, that can be very multifunctional within my collection, so that way they can be mixed and matched with many other decks. So that idea of playing with pairs or perfect pairs. So today I'm here to share with you some of the decks that really do help bridge that gap when I have a deck that maybe is a little hard to pair, finding mostly that oracle deck that can really step in and feel the aesthetics, because for me that's really important within my readings. I do like to have those aesthetics involved within the reading. It just helps me find like this cohesiveness within the reading. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to remove this tarot deck here because this deck here, which is the Tarot by Cacao as an example only, I adore this deck. It is beautiful, but for me, it's been a little bit hard to pair up. So when I got in this Enigma deck by Daniel Martin Diaz, I was so excited because for one, the backs are just beautiful together. I love the way that they kind of match up with the eye right in the middle of it. But the colors are just so beautiful. So throughout this video, I'm not going to be pairing decks up. This was just to get you started and to understand what I'm trying to get to within this video. But the Enigma deck is one of those decks that I have really found to be just such a fantastic addition within my collection because it offers so many opportunities with its clear art. I'm not going to be reviewing all the decks here. I'm not going to be talking about all the details, but I just want to find out also from you within this video as you're seeing some of my favorites, and I do have a lot, so I'm going to keep going. I want to find out from you, what are the decks that you find most useful that you can pair up with just about anything within your collection. So the Sultry Oracle cards is another deck that I use quite often because of the beautiful colors and the way that it just matches in so well with so many other decks. This deck also has the chakras included, which for me are a very important thing to have within my decks. And just the colors and the simplicity. I'm not to say that the art is simple because I could never do anything like this, but the simplicity within the cards themselves just offer another level to work along with another deck that might be a little bit hard to pair up. And there's so many beautiful colors in this deck that it just makes it really, really versatile within my collection and easy to pair up with so many of my other decks. The Dirt Gems Planet Oracle and Deck Guidebook. Now, this one has a really dark, well, black background and these really vibrant colors. And this one has been really, really nice for me to pair up with so many of my decks. This is really one of my favorite Oracle decks. And as I'm talking about that, like, this is not a video about my favorite Oracle decks. This is just about the most versatile decks within my collection. I'm going to repeat that because some of them, although they do fall within that line of being some of my favorites, some of them I just find so versatile. And that's what this whole video is about. I think I'm kind of rambling here, but just the colors and the way that it reads. I love the way that this deck reads. This is not about going foraging within the forest. This is about using the spirit of the plants to help you connect to your reading, to deepen the reading, or to understand what you're looking at. And this one has been so easy to pair up with so many decks. So this is the Dirt Gems Plant Oracle deck, along with the idea of having an herbal deck. The Herbal Astrology Oracle is another one. Now this is kind of that same idea where we're working with plant energy, but the really nice, soft, earthy colors and the art again has made it a very versatile deck within my collection to go ahead and pair up with so many tarot decks. It's been really an amazing addition in my collection. Now I know that other people have a couple other herbal decks which are like plain beige with some flowers on them. I really don't have those within my collection. You know, my list is long, guys. So at one point I might, you know, decide on one of them. I think there's two out there that are very popular and I can't remember the names of them right now, but this one has really helped within my collection as far as the tones and the overall theme of the deck. Supra Oracle, again, is one of those decks that it is just such a beautifully illustrated deck. I can never get over when somebody draws these images and they're just so absolutely stunning. I don't get it because, like I said, I draw little stick birds and stick people and everything's a stick. But this again is one of those decks, and it's not black and white. It's this really deep beige that is it's really like a timeless kind of deck where this is going to be one of those decks that I can just really have in my collection and use for so many other decks within everything that I have here in these shelves to help complete the readings. So that is the Supra Oracle. Yantra Wisdom Divination deck. This is one of my favorites. I really do love this deck. And this, it has all these yantras and these beautiful tones, and the meanings for me within the deck is just so easy to fit in to your readings with your tarot decks. It's just one of my lifesavers when I really need something to just fit in. And this one, in addition to being one of the decks that I pull for that beginning energy or my focus of the reading, I also utilize this deck as the overall like finishing of the reading or to help kind of tie up a reading. So this is, again, one of my most versatile and loved decks. This is the Radiant Crystal cards, which again has turned out to be a really, really versatile deck within my collection. So on one side, it's the chakras, the astrological sign, the affirmation, and the energies, but on the actual front side of the deck is these beautiful crystals, and it's these beautiful watercolors. And it's just really easy to pair up. And then again, because it is so simple and everything's just right on the opposite side, it really does help with tying in overall energies or something that you need to seek for your reading, something to focus on within your reading, like an overall channeling of the energy and how to work with the energy of the day in a sense. So this is just another fantastic deck within my collection that is extremely versatile. Now I do also have a lot of collage style decks, and for me the Begin Oracle has really stepped in and is extremely just like this all around camouflage style deck that, in addition to having a fantastic, I'm not joking guys, it's a fantastic guidebook. It's more like a notebook size or regular page size book, but it's really, really great. And this deck really kind of steps in and offers me like this one-stop shop almost, where I can always grab this, and it just almost fits in so well with my collage style decks. It has been a really, really great deck. And the Begin Oracle, like, this has been around for a while, and I know it kind of goes in and out of print. So I had to wait at one point for it to come back into print, because I kept putting it off like, I don't know if I need it. But really, it is one of those decks that I really do pull a lot in order to complete, or like I say, just give a more focused part of the reading. The Earthbound Oracle. Now, some people might think or say, or, it's their opinion, but that it's a little creepy. And I guess it kind of is, but you know what? I've even paired this one up with the Gentle Tarot, and I love the way that they read together. This is a very, very functional deck in so many ways. It just really does kind of adapt to the reading that you have or the deck that you're working with. And I've been able to use it just so much with so many different types of readings. So this is the Earthbound Oracle. This deck, oh my goodness, this has been just such a wonderful deck for me. This is the Threads of Fate Rose edition. And I know that they have other editions. I believe they do still. This is the all black with the copper, which I have a tendency of having a lot of black decks, or black backgrounds on them, which is really not a surprise, because if you saw my wardrobe, it's mostly black. I love the color black. But this deck, again, just fits in with so many of my tarot decks. And that's normally the way that I use them, is a tarot and an oracle deck. Sometimes, on very rare occasions, I'll use two tarot decks side by side, but not very often. Usually it's one or two oracle decks alongside one tarot deck as the focus readings. And like I said, sometimes I get a little crazy and just start pulling in all kinds of other decks, but this one has really come in handy and again, this is another deck that I really love the meanings within the guidebook. And to me, like I always say, it has a very shamanic feel, especially when you get into the guidebook. This has been a fantastic deck to have. The Sacred Symbols. Oh my goodness. This is one of those decks that I absolutely love. This is one of my favorite mass market decks. This was an indie deck, and then it was picked up for mass market. I always wanted to get it when it was an indie deck, and I just never went around to ordering it. And then it came out in the mass market edition. And this is one of those decks that, this is not going anywhere ever. I absolutely adore this deck. I love the way it reads. I love the meanings within the guidebook, as well as the names or the titles of the cards within the deck. This is an outstanding deck, and oh my gosh, I can put this with just about anything within my tarot collection. Okay, I have these two side by side. We have the Illuminated Earth and the Faceted Garden, and I would not be able to choose one over the other. This is like a darker, if I need a darker aesthetic to go with whatever I'm reading, I choose the Illuminated Earth, where on the flip side, if I need something that's a little brighter, then I'll reach for the Faceted Garden. And it really does, both of them, they just kind of match in with so many decks. I've thrown so many things where I'm like, I don't know what'll match in with that. And I've been able to really pull in completely different styles of decks with these two, just because of how versatile the art is. As an example, I'm just going to share this with you. The Tarot by Mr. Freiborg. You would think, no, Annette, that doesn't work, but it really, really does. So even I, when working with this tarot deck, sometimes I have to decide, like, which one am I going to use with it? I love that this one has the lighter tones and it picks up on that. But even though this one is more of a darker based deck, it still works. If you see what I'm saying here, because this is a completely different style of deck than these are, but oh my goodness, these Oracle decks have been such a staple within my collection, and just to help me with my readings and to just find those deeper meanings and to kind of push into that. Oh my goodness, look at the carnations with that now. So anyhow, let's move on. The Literary Witches Oracle. Now I know this deck is not for everybody, but I really enjoy this deck, and I really do think that it is an extremely versatile deck. There's Maria. I love this deck. It has Maria Sabina in it, but I've talked about that a lot along with the mushrooms. This deck is very versatile because, again, of the very limited color palette that it has and the art that's included. I've been able to pair this up with a lot, but more than the witches is the tools section. The tools section is one of the decks that I've really been able to pull into so many of my other readings and use alongside my other tarot decks, just because it is so limited. The art is very simple and the words are just perfect. You just take it from there. You can, dive into the guidebook that only has a couple of words on it for each one. But I mean, intuitively, you know what the meaning is for each of these cards, or at least, I do. It's really simple. So this has been another deck that's been very, very useful for me. Along the same lines as the tools portion of the Literary Witches, we have the Empty Cup Oracle. And this deck, to me, again, is one of those very, very versatile decks. It has this white background with very simple images and a keyword on each one, where you can easily tap into the keyword and use that to focus in your reading or to wrap up your reading. It's just an extremely, extremely easy to use deck and really does help you intensify your readings. So that is the Empty Cup Oracle. Next is the Roots and Wing Oracle deck. And this again has that very nice white palette within the background and these beautiful colorful images. Sometimes they're a little bit more muted, but it has a very simple keyword, very easy to integrate into your reading and matches in with so many of your other decks. All right, that's the end of my Oracle section, and I have a few tarot decks to share with you as well. The Wandering Moon Tarot is another deck that I find to be extremely versatile within my collection. Now, I know that there's a lot of black and white decks out there. This is the one that I have. And sometimes I look at other black and white decks and I'm thinking, should I get another one? But I have this one and I really do like it. I love the simplicity of the images, and it does make it very easy to tap into other Oracle decks or have other Oracle decks come around it because of the simplicity of not only the art, but the color scheme as well. This is the #1 most versatile deck within my collection. This is a Narrative Alchemy Tarot. And this deck is the workhorse within my entire collection. It doesn't leave from on the side of my desk. It stays right there because I'm always using this deck. You can use it as an Oracle deck by just tapping into the keywords on the deck itself. You can use it as a tarot deck because all the correspondence for the tarot are right here on the bottom. And you can also use it as a chakra deck because of all the colors they relate to the chakras. I think that this deck is outstanding. The way that she put this together, it's brilliant. It really is. I love how functional and how versatile this deck is. And this is the deck that really got me to think about the whole idea of having versatile decks within my collection and which ones are the ones that I really go to pull to or to tap into in order to help wrap up or expand a reading or focus my energies on. So this was the one that kind of got me thinking about this whole thing to begin with. So this is it. And I would really like to know, what are your most versatile decks? If you can share them with me, so please, please respond. I would love to hear it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you watching. From my heart to yours, I wish you a beautiful day. I will see you later.